the authors. So, okay. Hello, Story Hour. I am PL McMillan. As you can see, Laura Blackwell isn't here except in ghostly spirit. So if you feel like some cold breath, wait, that makes it sound like she's dead. She's not, she's traveling. That was a bad start. But I was asked to guest host, so I'm super excited to do that. PL McMillan, but definitely call me Plim. It's a little nickname I have. I'm here with my co-host, Daniel Marcus, who will be handling all the tech, so be on your best behavior. And of course, I'm here with two intensely, incredibly talented authors who will be doing some live readings for you to really set your October month off strong. So I'll say hi to them, you say hi to them, and we'll kick off to our first reading. But hello, TJ Price, and hello, Angel Leigh McCoy.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Thank you so much for joining. This is super exciting. Now, for those of us who are just joining for the first time, and for the people who come often to see the Story Hour, this is a special event I think all authors should cherish and all readers should cherish because Story Hour helps people stay connected by telling each other stories around this virtual campfire. So pretend there's a campfire, a nice warm one, whatever color you prefer your fire to be. I have the creamer from Are You Afraid of the Dark? I'm throwing it on. There's like sparkles. That's what it is, by the way. It's coffee creamer.
Cool.
In case you didn't know. So welcome back to those returning and welcome to those joining us for the first time. If you're here on Zoom, feel free to chime into the chat. We love to see engagement and we'll try to chat back as much as we can. And if you're on Facebook, thank you. We might not see your messages, but we do appreciate your support. So make sure to cheer out for these authors. And, you know, we're not going to waste any more time on me because I'm just here to facilitate. And we're going to jump to our first reading. So let me formally introduce Angel Leigh McCoy, who writes paranormal suspense and mystery. Her novels bring the sass, romance, secrets, and murder most foul. They center on the magical beings who live in Weirdwood, Oregon, and how their lives crash together. Angel is the founder of a game design company working on the Dire Multiverse video game. Previous escapades include game writer for White Wolf's World of Darkness, Danger and Dragons, Dungeons and Dragons. This happens to me every time. This is what I'm known for. Guild Wars 2 and Control. When Angel isn't spinning wordcraft magic, she cuddles kittens and tends to the many mystical creatures who live in her backyard pocket realm. Make sure to visit her at angelmccoy.com to unlock more. Now, before we jump into your readings, do you have any content warnings you'd like to share with the audience in case we have anyone who's a bit more sensitive?
The only thing I will say is that there is the death of an older child in my story. 18-year-old, not a young child, but on the verge of still being a child. Other than that, I think, you know, there may be a couple F-bombs here and there. If that offends anyone, I apologize. Well, sort of apologize. I apologize for choosing this story.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's mostly just a lot of action and emotion.
Awesome. Take it away.
All right. So the story that I'm going to read for you tonight around the campfire is called Cookies for Geo. And it's one of the stories in my collection of short horror stories called Dark Was the Night. You can get that on Amazon. It is available on Kindle Unlimited if you do Kindle Unlimited. So you can get it basically with your subscription. There's also an audio version on audible.com of this particular story. Okay, so I will just dive right in. Oh, thank you, by the way, Plim. I hope I got that right.
No,
Plim,
it's fine. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Daniel for setting this up. And TJ, I'm so glad you're here with me tonight too. All right, Cookies for Geo. I rest a hand on Geo's shoulder, and he looks up from the half-naked pop star writhing on his computer monitor, a smile lingering on his face. That's my hormonal 18-year-old. My heart aches on its next beat. "Hi, Mom," he says, head loose on his neck. He wrangles it under control and pushes his headphones off one ear. "Hi." I sit on the bed, within reach of him in his electric wheelchair, and I pet its vinyl-covered armrest. Geo doesn't need it all the time. His muscular dystrophy hasn't progressed that far. On his good days, he shuffles around with a walker. I ask, "What you doing?" "Soaking up as much internet as I can," Geo says, his tongue thick, words carefully pronounced. "Before they take it all away." "What are you doing?" He sets his hand on mine. His fingers are cold, soft, and awkward. I hold them, warm them, love them. "Just taking a break from the computer." He leans toward me, eyes bright with interest. "Hacking?" "Shh." I look over my shoulder, then feel ridiculous. And yet, he whispers, "You think they're listening?" I shrug. "I'm baking cookies. Got it?" Geo tips his head back and chortles. "Got it." I feel the weak squeeze of his hand in mine. "I love your cookies." "You hungry?" "No." "When's Dad going to call?" "Truth?" "Always." "I don't know. It's been 9 months since Antonio was drafted, and 45 days since we last talked to him. A portion of his paycheck appears every month, so I know he's alive. Last time I spoke to him, he said something about being transferred to the Templar Brigade. He said they might send him to fight in Jordan." I release Geo's hand and pretend to watch the video with him, following his cues to laugh, hiding the worries that are surging over me. What if I get caught in the deep underground? How will we pay for Geo's care? What if Antonio is killed in Babylon? They're calling the war the Final Crusade. The American attack on Israel and Palestine surprised everyone. They surrendered without a whimper, and U.S. forces installed a provisionary government. The evangelists proclaimed a victory for Jesus. War correspondents showed gleeful American soldiers swimming in the Sea of Galilee. The media crows about battles won, enemies thwarted, and territory gained in Cyprus, Lebanon, and Syria. Damascus broke months ago, and Jordan is on its way to surrender. The president's press secretary keeps saying, "The president is taking whatever measures are necessary. America has had enough. We tried the olive branch, it didn't work, so now we use the stick. It's time someone lifted Muslims out of their semi-barbarous state. Children under 10 will be given new names, new families, and new lives. They will be raised with God's love. All the rest are criminals. Either you're with us or you're against us." Geo cries out, jerking me alert. He's pointing a shaky hand at the screen. "What's the matter?" I ask. I realize my back has hunched under the weight of my thoughts, and I sit up straight. "Look!" Geo unplugs his headphones, and the sound breaks out into the room. Propaganda. A camera shot of the Oval Office is zooming in toward the desk where the President of these United States is signing a bill into law. The narrator says, "In the wake of the Secretary of State's amendment to the Immigration and Nationality Act, which added Hebrew groups to the list of domestic terrorist organizations, the President has today signed an executive order requiring the seizure of all assets held by these groups. Warrants are being served to hamstring those who would attack us from within. 120 Jewish leaders and rabbis are en route to Guantanamo." I have friends who are Jewish. Or I had friends. I haven't heard from them since the Israeli invasion. The music video comes back on in media res, and I stand up. I don't want Geo to see me cry. I better get back to those cookies, I say, heading for the door. Go get 'em, Mom. I go fishing for Jedi Jock. I've known him since I was a student at MIT, though I have no idea where he is, what he looks like, or even if he's truly a man. I don't care. He's the most reliable human being on this planet, from my point of view. I create a private chat room called Blackwall 2019, and I type, "Knock, knock, jackass." That's our code. His bots will find it. Now I just have to wait until he shows. Snub-nosed Cock wants in. Nope, not him. Pwn your politics. No. Scissor 666. Reject. The deep underground is buzzing about the fall of Iran under Soviet expansion. America's #1 ally is the second prong in the war on everything non-Christian. Political cartoonists are calling the two countries the two-headed bear. There, JJ Pussygrabber, that's him, his public alias. I let him in, but wait for him to type first. He does. Hey, what are you wearing? I reply, my Trump for President pajamas, flannel. You? He says, a clown suit. It's definitely him. I type, we're secure. He types, been a while, how's the pet? I reply, good and bad. You know. I told him about Gio when Antonio got drafted, breaking the first rule of underground engagement, but I couldn't help it. I was at the end of my rope, alone, and I needed someone to talk to. So JJ knows I have a kid with MD, but that's all he knows. Cool. They done? He types. He's talking about the malware program I'm programming, the virus meant to burn down firewalls all over the world. It'll free the net, if only for a little while, and it's been one of the hardest tasks I've ever undertaken. Yes, all done. Okay, sit tight. We're planning a party for any time now. I'll get back to you. You sure about this? Having doubts? I don't know, maybe. It's just so... I almost type extreme, but it's one of the words on Homeland Security's watch list. Big. JJ types, I wish you could see what I see. It's worth it. I feel sick. I'm a programmer, not a rebel. I've always stayed within the law. I type, okay. TTYL, and he's gone. There's a flash on my monitor. My heart skips a beat. In a panic, I shut it all down and sit there, waiting for the sky to fall, the door to explode inward, and the Uzi-toting black ops to close in. I wait all night, sleep like crap, and wake up in the morning feeling headachy, exhausted, but not arrested. I fix Gio's breakfast around 9. I have to remind him to eat. He's never hungry anymore. It's the MD. If I weren't here, he'd starve. He's sitting at his computer, like always, typing with frantic deliberation, focused. Motherfucker, he shouts before he realizes I'm there. I pause in the doorway, watching the images on his screen. It's another anti-gay ad from the series. Gio's mad, but not at the ad. Those are nothing new, not anymore. Gio has a chat window open, though I can't read what's being said. Hey, buddy, I say, it's time to eat. I move to stand beside him. Okay, he replies, distracted, sparing me only a glance. Leave it there. I'll eat it. What's going on? You seem upset. I think they shut down Chang Yin. Her email's bouncing, and Twitter says her account is dead. Mark thinks they're deporting her. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Chang Yin lived next door to us, back when we could afford a house in the suburbs. Her parents immigrated from China during the dot-com surge. Chang Yin was born here, in America. She's never known any other home. It's not right. Gio's body shakes. We have to do something. She'll be okay, I say, lying through my teeth. She's with her parents. There's only her mom and her sister, he says, voice as heavy as funeral bells. Her dad died in the Ammon siege, fighting for America. I fiddle with the plate and silverware on the tray, straightening them. It's time for breakfast. Mom, Gio says, tentative. The kids at my school are organizing a protest. As the words unfold in my mind, I'm already shaking my head. Just listen, Mom. He turns his chair to face me and looks me square in the eyes, expression earnest. All this stuff they feed us is bullshit. They're lying to us. For all I know, they're taking people out and shooting them. They wouldn't do that, I say. But I don't know that. You hear things in the underground that contradict the images shown on television. Gio hits himself in the forehead with both hands. Our world is shrinking. We watch what they want us to watch, do what they want us to do. I know, but there's nothing we can change about that. I place my hand on his bony shoulder. You could get hurt. And for what? We can't stop what's happening. We can't save Chang Yin. Gio waves his hands in the air, an awkward imitation of his father's Italian gestures. We can't sit here and do nothing. If we do, then we're no better than they are. He leans forward, shaking like a baby bird whose head is too heavy. We have to use our voices. They can't take those away. His breathing has grown strained. I say, I'll think about it, okay? I set the tray on the desk, pushing his keyboard aside. Do you want some help eating? You promise you'll think about it? It's really important to me, Mom. I'll think about it. When is it? Today, at noon, at the school. I'll think about it. You need help? No, I got it. Okay. I hesitate, watching as he struggles to pick up his spoon. But ultimately, I leave. He deserves his dignity. JJ Pussygrabber sends me an evite to a child's birthday party for the following evening. I RSVP that I'll be there. I don't know what the plan is or who else is involved. I know that my job is to release my malware. It's ready, waiting in its electronic petri dish to be unleashed on the world. Desperate times call for desperate measures, someone once said. I doubt their times were as desperate as ours. At 10:30, Gio starts moving around his room. Mom, we have to catch the bus in half an hour. I have no idea whether I'll let him go or not, or how I'll stop him if he insists. He's 18, old enough to make his own choices. Though his body is weak, his mind is sharp. He's my brilliant, raggedy boy, becoming a man. His heart may not be strong, but his heart, capital H, is. I'm not good at saying no to him. Will I have to physically bar him from leaving? Can I bring myself to do that? Am I overreacting? They're high school kids. In another world, at another time, I'd have applauded this as a healthy civics lesson. Has our world changed so much? Mom, we need to get going. He rolls into the tiny living room with that look on his face, the stubborn one, and I know I'm in for a fight if I choose it. Geo, are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, come on. He goes to the front door. It'll be okay. I'm so tired. I give in. All right, but we're only staying for an hour, and we're sticking to the sidelines. Got it? Sure, let's go. He's opening the door, and I have to chase him out into the hall with his coat. Many of the students are there when we arrive in the school parking lot. A bunch of them swarm Geo, hugging him and patting him. Geo keeps saying, "Have you seen Chang Yin? Is she here?" A girl in a cheerleader outfit tells him, "She's gone, G. Her front door's got a USCIS memo about how we should stay out of the house and report any foreign nationals we know about. It's fucking insane." She looks up at me. "Sorry, Mrs. Esposito, but it is." I just nod. "G-man," says a kid I don't recognize. "Glad you made it." He picks up one of Geo's hands and winds his own into it. They shake, then bump knuckles as if they've done it 1,000 times. It always unnerves me when I'm reminded that Geo has a life beyond our little hovel. A beat later, Geo says, "You too, Mark." "Look at this crowd, will you? Damn, I never thought we'd get this many." At the end of the parking lot, kids begin to chant, "I am you and you are me. We deny your white supremacy." Geo moves his chair toward the edge of the crowd. "Geo," I warn. "This is sidelines, Mom. It's okay." I look at the kids, their earnest faces, their lack of fear, and I feel just how brittle I've become. The chant changes. "Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here." More bodies press in behind us, more voices, all raised in concert. I'm filled with pride, and much to my own surprise, I join the chant. Quiet at first. "Immigrants are welcome here." Then louder. "Immigrants are welcome here." The chant changes like a wave washing over the crowd. I hear the new one before it hits us. "Compassion is our passion." It takes no time at all before the people around me and I are singing it out with force. I'm emboldened by my emotions. One voice cuts through all the others, silencing me. It's loud enough that it makes the chant falter. "Cease and desist. You are in violation of the Public Gatherings Act." It's a man's voice, authoritative, belted out through a speaker. "This is your second warning. Stop and go home or face the consequences. You are breaking the law." The faces around me look defiant and determined, though some of the kids have the wherewithal to be scared. Geo, in his chair, is unperturbed. I look around, searching for an avenue out, but the crowd filled in behind us. "This is your last warning, people. Disperse. Go home." I begin to pull Geo's wheelchair backwards, forcing my way between bodies. He's just realized what I'm doing, and I haven't gotten very far, when a gunshot makes everyone jump and cringe. The chant is interrupted again. "Get down on the ground. I warned you. Get down on the ground or we will use force." All around me I hear, "Get down, get down." The crowd is complying. I see the militiamen all around us. The crowd drops in sections. They whisper their questions. Are they going to arrest us? Did they shoot someone? What are they doing? I drop to the ground with the others and reach up to pull Geo down with me, but the angle isn't right. "Get down on the ground," shouts the soldier. "Geo," I cry, "get down here." But Geo isn't listening. He's staring straight ahead, expression hard as rock. "Geo!" I grab his pant leg and pull one of his feet off a stirrup. He looks down at me then, and our eyes meet. His face is set. I've never seen it like that. Mom, I have to make my stand now, while I still can. With a monumental effort, he pushes himself up out of his wheelchair. I don't know why, but I let him. I watch, frozen, hypnotized by his bravery and by the surreal impossibility of the situation. I watch as he gains control of his balance and raises his chin. He shouts, "Right takes might. Don't give up the fight." I see, everyone sees, that he has wet his pants. "Right takes might," he cries. "Don't give up the fight." His voice rings out into history, across the crowd, and is forever etched in my memory, as is the sound of the second gunshot and the crumple of his body back into his chair. For one eternal moment, no one breathes. I can't believe. Then I'm moving. I crawl up and over him, protecting him from all else that might come. I smell his blood. "Geo," I cry. "Geo, no." The crowd is silent. Time has stopped. One shout kicks it forward. "Right takes might." It's the voice of a girl. "Don't give up the fight." Then the crowd is surging upward. Gunshots are ringing out like firecrackers. Screams are echoing off the high school. Shaking, sobbing, I cling to my Geo, my brave raggedy boy, and I send my wail straight to God. They took him and all the others away in body bags. One kind soul guided me out of the chaos. He helped me onto the bus and off again at the right stop. He walked me inside and stayed until I fell asleep. When I woke, he was gone. The apartment was silent but for the sirens outside. The anonymous man, I don't even remember his face, had left a contraband digital camera and a note that said, "Do with this what you will." It took everything I had to look at the footage. I'm now sitting at my desk. The birthday party is about to begin, and I have cookies. So many cookies. Everything's ready, primed. I watch the clock, each passing minute like a lifeline. When the time comes at last, I whisper, "This is for you, Geo." And I hit enter. My malware streaks out across the web, unblocking it, breaking open the channels of communication. And the first thing everyone will see is what they did to my Geo, and how one courageous young man stood up. I crawl back onto the couch and curl into a ball. I think, right takes might. Checkmate, you dumb motherfuckers. The end. Sorry, I
Oh
get
my God.
emotional at the end of that.
No, that was such an intense scene. It was so beautiful,
Thank
especially the way
you.
you read it. Just it added so much emotional depth to it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for
The
sharing
story means
that.
a lot to me. It came from somewhere in the ether. I don't know. I didn't conceive it. It just came out of me.
I feel like it resonated with a lot of the audience because a lot of people were commenting on it. As you can see, if you scroll up, I think it hit home to a lot of people. So thank
Oh,
you so
good,
much.
good. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm very happy to share that story with people.
it was so intense. It was beautiful. Thank you.
I hope it wasn't too intense.
No, that's what we're here for, right? That's
Okay.
why we write. That's why artists make their pieces. It's to connect to people. And I think you definitely did. if you go through the comments, you'll see how people reacted, and it was you can see how communal those feelings are.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read
Okay.
those.
Yeah. All right. TJ, are you ready to follow up then?
Yeah, sure. Let's try. You said it was about connecting with people, so that's
Exactly.
a good segue into the story that I plan on reading. So
Okay. Well, let me give you
hopefully
a formal introduction.
be my guest.
All right. TJ Price's corporal being is currently located in a city I didn't remember to ask how to pronounce. Relay.
Raleigh.
Darn it, Raleigh.
Close.
Relay is where Cthulhu's from. I always get you two confused.
Yeah, that's all right. That
Um,
kind of goes with it.
North Carolina, where he lives with his handsome partner of many years, but his ghost can be found in northeastern Connecticut, southern Maine, North Brooklyn, and the corner of your eye. He's the author of The Disappearance of Tom Nero, a novelette, and his work is published in venues such as Nightmare Magazine, Pseudopod, and Cosmic Horror Monthly, as well as various anthologies and assorted grimoires. He currently serves as assistant editor at Haven Spec Magazine and is also the editor of the anthology Odd Jobs, 6 files from the Department of Inhuman Resources from Undertaker Books. He can be invoked at either tjpricewrites.com or go to the darkest place you know and whisper his name. Please note the author is not responsible for what may answer. Now, before you start your reading, do you have any content warnings that you would like to share?
Nope, no advisories from this quarter. I hope that the F-bomb isn't a content warning, because if you think that story had F-bombs, you might be in for a bit of a shock with this one. So nope.
Not a problem.
All right, awesome.
All right. Well, take off, TJ. Show us what you got.
All right. So I have a story tonight that has not been published. The only place it has ever lived is in the dusty recesses of my hard drive. I hope you enjoy it. It is called For a Bad Time Call. I was taking a piss the first time I saw it. I remember I was looking down and thinking, it ain't so bad, really. Not like she ever spent a lot of time looking at it anyway, so what the fuck does she know? And then I looked up, and there it was, right in front of my eyes in black with a Sharpie. For a Bad Time Call, 537-936-8481. I thought, ain't that shit usually say for a good time? Quick shake, zip up, get the fuck out. Truck stop bathroom, lights are too fucking bright in the parking lot, gotta get back to the truck, keep on heading down the road. All I own's in the back of the truck since Sherry kicked me out. Been sleeping with some other guy. She says his dick's bigger, says he washes the dishes when he's through cooking for her or whatever. I wash the fucking dishes too, you know. She just never bothered to pay attention when I did. She only paid attention when I was fucking her, and if it wasn't that, then she was on her fucking phone looking, scrolling through shit all the time. I told her that shit's bad for you. It brought your brain out. That's how they get you. Anyway, they throw in ads and shit when you're still scrolling, and it sits in your brain like roaches, making more and more of them until all you think about is those fucking ads. Fuck her anyway. Total bullshit. I kind of loved her a little. She had those pouty fucking lips. So yeah, anyway, back in the fucking truck and down the highway a piece. It's past midnight. Ain't nobody on these fucking roads but tweakers, drunkers, and me. Make it another couple hours before the no-do starts to wear off, and I gotta pull off the highway again. Wandering around looking for the pills section. The line's 2 or 3 people deep, and the cashier ain't to be seen. I keep my eye on things while I'm browsing. I pick up a bottle of pills, Motrin, you know, for when women PMS, and for when I ain't got no fucking Advil and I had too much Jack the night before, and that's all Sherry can fish out of her fucking purse. You know, she always told me she was going to quit that job, start taking classes, but she couldn't because of her kid, Randy. Who the fuck knew who that kid's father was? Sure as fuck wasn't me. First of all, Randy was half black, and I'm about as white as you can get without painting somebody. Sherry loved him, though. It was easy to tell. And he wasn't one of those kids that cried all the time, just looked at you without blinking forever. Like he isn't seeing you, but seeing through you, you know? Kid always gave me the creeping willies, if I'm honest. I gotta worry about seeing him again, though. Look back over at the cashier and the line's gone. So is the cashier. Either that or I imagined the whole thing. You do enough hits of acid and that'll fucking happen. So I snag a pack of no-dos, head back to the counter, and that's where I see it again. For a bad time, call 537-936-8481. I gotta blink because it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I got no head for fucking numbers, but I'd swear on a stack of fucking Bibles that it's the same goddamn phone number as I saw all the way back in that truck stop bathroom. But this time, it's scratched into the countertop like somebody's used a big knife, like really fucking carved the numbers in. So I run my fingers over it. Grooves are deep. I figure it takes a long fucking time to do something like that, right? All set? I look up and the fucking cashier is standing there. Some battle fucker wearing bifocals and a visor with the truck stock's logo on it. Yeah, I say, and I shove the no-dos at him. It's like a ninja as fast as he was. Didn't even hear him walk up. Didn't even hear him breathing, which he was doing a lot of wheezing practically. Should have heard him coming from a fucking mile away. So I pay and leave. Crossing the parking lot, I turn around to see if he's still there, but he's gone again. Number thing, yeah, well, it must have just been one of those things, you know, who knows? Maybe it's the same fucking guy or girl or whatever, just happened to be at the same two places I stopped. That shit'll fucking happen. Do enough acid, like I said, you'll fucking see the bones behind everything. Skin of the world peels right fucking off, I'll tell you. So yeah, I drive another couple hours out of the state, take a left somewhere, merge onto another fucking highway. I'm actually all turned around, I realize at one point. Looking at myself in the rear view, I look like a junkie. Ain't shaved in days. Bags under my eyes, saggier than grandma's tits. Third time I see it, I kind of bug out a little. But there's 1,000 fucking ways that number could be out there, right? Could be one of those viral things that they talk about on the internet. It's a little fucking weird. The first time I saw it, it was in Sharpie, and the second time it was carved into the counter. But where it was weirdest was spray painted on a fucking billboard as I drove past it. Didn't slam on my brakes or nothing, but I saw it. Plain as day. Sun was up by then. Big black numbers dripping. Even kind of glistening a little bit, like it was fresh painted. Hit the gas a little fucking harder after that one, I'll tell you. Didn't expect to see it again. Somewhere's in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, highway did a whole lot of slimming down over the past few hours from 4 lanes to 3 and just hit 2. Thought about calling ahead to my brother, let him know I'm coming, decided not to. If I call him, it just gives him the opportunity to say no, and fuck that, man. Family's family. I thought Sherry was my family. Thought my working my ass off every day at the shop counted. I guess instead of all that fucking baby food and diapers I bought, I should have saved up to buy her a ring. She would have said no anyway. I'm gonna keep telling myself that. That and she's sleeping around on me. I might be an asshole, but I didn't cheat on her, not once. Not even that night we went out to Platinum Plus and that stripper rubbed herself all over me. Christ, that was a fucking night. I got plenty of shit for that from the boys, too, let me tell you. The girl was all over me all night long, and I told her, listen, you're fucking hotter than a 67 Impala, but I got a girl I love, and she just melted and cooed, said what a hot guy I was, and she loved that I was so respectful, but didn't they want a lap dance? And I mean, yeah, I fucking did. So I went in the back room with her, and we smoked some shit, and like, I might have fooled around with her or whatever, but we never fucked. Anyway, back on down the highway. Try not to think about Sherry. Hands shaking a little bit on the wheel. Might be time to take a fucking breather. Been driving for what feels like days. Should eat something, take a shit somewhere, maybe grab a shower at one of these stops. Highway looks like a frozen river and it just keeps going on forever. I get all my needs taken care of. Even get a bite to eat and some coffee at this place, this diner just off the highway. Pull out a map, look at the long snake of the roads all twisting over all one another. The whole fucking country is really a mess of red and blue snakes all trying to cover the whole land as much as they can. There's a newspaper somebody left behind in the booth, and I'm bored of looking around, so I read through it. It's all the same shit, politics. Seems like all everybody can talk about nowadays is fucking politics. You want a guaranteed bad time? Read the fucking newspaper. I'm about to crumple it up and throw it away when my eye snags on a line. Maybe just because I thought of it, maybe not, but there it is again. Holy fuck. For a bad time, call 537-936-8481. It's written in the margin of the paper off to the side in this fucking curly Q handwriting, all caps, and then the number. Jesus Christ, I say out loud, and I hear an old lady gasp somewhere nearby, which makes me grin a little bit, but also I kind of feel like a shitheel at the same time. It's like I can't stop staring at it. Ain't even an 800 number, so it'd be long distance for whoever called, unless 537 was the area code around here. I flip through the newspaper again, classifieds. All the local numbers start with a different code. I don't have a phone. I know, I'm the last one left or whatever. I just don't fucking trust them. I don't like being reachable to anybody at any time. They know how to get a hold of me if it's important. I don't go nowhere anyway. Well, not since now. And it's the first time I regret not fucking having one. For the sheer ease of being able to type in what area code is 537 to Siri or whatever and just have the answer pop up. But I'm a stubborn asshole. Always have been. Always fucking will be. I fold up the paper and I bring it back out to the truck with me. Why'd I bring the paper? Well, I was thinking to myself, what if I see that number again? And I gotta like compare, this is gonna be the only way I know. I'm curious now. It's been 4 times I've seen it. Probably turn out to be some stupid thing the kids are doing, but I got nothing else to think about on the road, really. Like how much I want to fucking drink, maybe, or what I'm gonna say to Benny when I get there, how much I'm prepared to beg to sleep on his couch. He ain't married, he got no kids. Practice my whole spiel now, just for a little while, I'll tell him. Just for a little while, not too long. Just till I get back on my feet. Sold him last time. Maybe this time too. I head on down the highway. About another few miles up the road, I see her sticking her thumb out, and she looks at peace, so I pull over and she gets in. Long, leggy girl. Name's Samantha. I tell her to call me Joe, even though my name's Mason. She says, hey, Joe, where you headed? Joe, the whole thing. I tell her, and she says she's going that way too. Surprise, surprise. She's hot. I like her looks. Dark, dirty blonde hair down to her waist, ripped jeans, sneakers that have seen some fucking miles. Wearing a man's work shirt with the name Sam over the lapel. So I don't know if it's hers or her man's. Could be both. Neither. Maybe her name isn't even Sam. What do you do, Joe? Samantha asks, out of nowhere. Radio's playing country music. Some old guy with a voice like Naugahyde, cigarette burns to match, wailing about the past. Ain't no good to wail about the past, Jimmy, I want to tell him. But I gotta come up with a lie for Samantha. That worked for a buddy for mine, I say, because I can't come up with anything believable. Haul shit from place to place, a little bit of everything. Take a second, measure her reaction. You? Samantha shrugs. Her hair falls off her shoulder. I get a boner. This and that, she says, crossing the country now, trying to find a home. You ain't too careful, home will find you, I say to her. I'm kind of surprised at myself. Best enjoy your days free while you can. She smiles and it's hiding something, but I can't tell what exactly. You mean I should watch out who I fuck, right? She says. Well, I'm not a whore, Joe, so cool it on the rhetoric, all right? Woof. Rhetoric. We got us an Ivy Leaguer here. All right, I acknowledge. Though that ain't what I had meant at all, really. No harm, no foul. I ain't about to jump you neither. She nods, firmly, and turns to looking out the window. You running away from something? I can't help myself. Yeah, she says, surprising me and not surprising me at the same time. Lots of things. You mind if I don't enumerate them? We ain't got to talk at all if you don't want to, I say. No skin off my ass. Great, says Samantha, but not in a hostile way or nothing. Just kind of curls into herself. I see some bruises peeping out over her shirt collar on her neck, and I get that old fire up inside of me, but I don't say nothing. Next up, I bring her back a coffee because I'm nice, but my eyes are on her boobs when I get in the truck because I'm a guy. Can't tell how old she is. Old enough. Got a few scars laddering up the inside of her arm, just white lines at this point, and she catches me looking and covers them up with a sleeve. Gotta pee, she says, then hesitates. Thanks for the coffee. She hops out of the truck and makes her way toward the bathroom. Could leave now if I wanted to. Ain't got no ties or whatever to this girl. Don't know nobody nothing. When she gets back, she looks paler than before, eyes darting all over the place like a scared doe. I ask her if she's okay, and she says, yeah, just saw something that freaked her out. So I laugh, and I tell her about this number that's been haunting me, and I shit you not, her jaw drops. Legit. Drops wide. That's the number, she says. The one I... Fuck. Are you... No, you can't be lying. How'd you know about... Reach in the back seat, and I pull out the newspaper, and I point to the number on the back page. Her eyes go wide as fucking dinner plates, and she shoves it away from her. Girl's fucking trembling now like a leaf on a branch. Whoa, whoa, I say. It's a little fucking weird even for me. I light up the joint, pass it to her. She looks at it, then accepts it, and takes a good long toke, and we pass it back and forth for a minute. Cop car goes by, but the guy don't even fucking look at us. This is some fucked up shit, Samantha says finally. Where have you seen it? Bathroom, countertop, billboard, each tick I count on my fingers. Then that newspaper there. Did you call it? Her voice is as tight as a fucking fiddle, strung higher than a scream. No, I say, it's some bullshit thing, right? Something the kids are doing. She relaxes. You didn't call it. No. What is it? Do you know? We thought it was a joke too, until it wasn't. And now they're all gone, and I'm the only one left. Who's all gone? She turns her stare on me and I wince because it feels like high beams just blinded me. Everyone. I'm quiet. What the fuck do you say to something like that? Oh, everyone goes away eventually anyway, right? Fuck me, I don't know how to comfort someone. I just make a joke or something. Never worked with Sherry either. She just got all mad at me and hit me on the shoulder and called me unsympathetic. Not like this. Samantha turns her high beam gaze away from me and I blink. I'm trying to get the grit out of my eyes. She won't say anything anymore. Not even after multiple attempts on my part, just curls down into herself again. So I roach the joint and hit the road again. Not before I toss the newspaper with the number out the fucking window. I drop Samantha off in Oak City, about 50 miles down the road from Benny's. She lingers at the door for a second. You won't call it, right? I ain't got it no more. Threw it out the window, remember? I mean, if you see it again, just ignore it, okay? Promise me? Girl, I barely know you. I don't go making promises to folks I know and love, let alone folks I just met. Promise me, she repeats. If you see it again, you won't call it. Won't fucking call it. Jesus. All right. Her smile reappears. You're a good man, Mason. I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you. World's full of bad, I say, but she shut the door and she's already walking away. Also, I'm pretty sure I told her my name was Joe. The whole truck gets rocked with the wind of something passing by. Maybe I'm parked too close to the road, just pulled off the shoulder here by the off-ramp, and I turn to see what's gone by, but nothing's there. When I turn around to see the last of Samantha, she's gone too, even though it's a wide, flat parking lot. And unless she started to run like something was chasing her, it's unlikely she would have been out of sight. I get a creeping feeling going up my spine. Hit the gas. Highway's back in front of me again. I'm trying not to look at nothing. I don't want to see it. It's not like I'd call it anyway if I did. Promised. But the people that know me know I'm not one for keeping promises, really. Got this weird feeling if I do see it again, though, I'll probably fucking call it. Just out of spite. Bullshit, Benny's saying. You didn't even tell me that you left last time. I thought maybe you'd been killed or something. Run off the road. No note, no nothing. It was bullshit, Mason. It's nighttime and I can hear an owl hooting deep in the woods. I know where to go, Ben. Please? He's trying real fucking hard to keep me out this time. Maybe he talked about this very moment with his fucking therapist or something. I don't know, Mason. This is hard for me to have you coming in and out of my life like this, coming and going and just using me when you need to, and then just throwing me out like some kind of garbage, okay? I'm sorry, Benny, I say. I try to make as much eye contact with him as possible, but it's like a game of Duck, Duck, Goose or some shit. Really am. And it won't be for too long, all right? I just gotta, what? Find another hooker with a trailer? Sherry wasn't a hooker, I say slowly, evenly, because suddenly I want to punch his fucking lights out. Oh, yeah? Well, what do you call somebody who has sex for money? Sherry didn't do that, I say, keeping my voice low. There's neighbors, though Benny doesn't seem to care. Fuck you, she didn't. And what did you do? Sell meth? I don't do hard drugs, I say. Man, I told you this last time. So what happened? She left you? She kicked you out? Just fucking around with some other guy, I say. It wasn't my fault. Yeah, this time. He just won't believe me. Nothing I fucking say will get through to him. Nothing. It all ends with him saying no. With him shutting the fucking door in my face. Turning off the fucking porch light even, so I'm just standing there in total darkness. I feel this sort of blackness eating at the edges of myself, like he's turned off more than just the porch light. Like the dark is taking away little bits of me. I think about pounding on the fucking door, getting him to open up through sheer just loudness and annoyingness, and suddenly I just don't have the fucking energy. So I go back to the truck, sit in his driveway for a long time. This bedroom light stays on for about half hour, and then it clicks off, and then I'm really in the dark. I turn on the truck, snap on the high beam so they flood the inside of his house. I'm a spiteful motherfucker sometimes. Then I slam the truck into reverse and I take off through the roads of his little town and back onto the highway. But this time, highway don't have an end. I don't have an exit. I got fucking nothing. More miles down the road, smoke another joint. 3 left. It's just before midnight, but the sign that says bar is still red lit, sizzling. So I pull the truck in and I plan to get utterly fucking hammered, sleep in their parking lot, whatever. Cold out, bench out front, 2 guys sitting on it, smoking butts. Neither of them will look at me as I walk by, but they do stop talking until I'm gone. Inside, it's warm, dim, country music on the jukebox. Might even be the same guy I was listening to with Samantha. Same creaky, creased old voice. Still going on about the girl that left him all those years ago. I had some whiskey, rock that shit out of the well, slam it down, chase it with some Miller High Life, rinse and repeat, pretty much, till I gotta get up and break the seal. Bartender points to the bathroom, stagger on over, lock the door behind me, and piss my life away into the bowl. There's graffiti everywhere. Dicks, boobs, whole fucking conversations. Half of me is afraid I'll see it. The other half fucking wants to see it. Fuck my life, reads one scrawl. Beneath it, in conversation, a different handwriting. Do you mean it? Yes, reads back the original Sharpie. And there it is. A third handwriting beneath the first 2. Thick, black, gleaming. For a bad time, call 537-936-8481. I stare at it until my bladder's empty. My mouth goes dry. Wish I could take a fucking picture of it. Seen it enough fucking times now, I feel like I got it memorized. 537's the easy part. It's the address where my grandma lived when I grew up. 537 South Street. 936, well, 9 minus 3 is 6, right? And then it's 8481. I shake off, zip up, head back to my stool. Hey, I ask the bartender. It's a big guy, solid mullet. You know what area code 537 is? Let me look it up. Dude pulls out his phone, brightens his face, the splash of blue white, scrolls for a minute, shakes his head at me. Not in use, says Google. No such area code. I gotta laugh. So if I saw a phone number with that fucking area code, wouldn't even work. Sounds like you got rejected, says the bartender, laughing a little. Somebody give you those for digits? I shake my head. Just get me fucking drunk, will you, bub? No problemo, he says, and gets to pouring. As long as you can fucking pay, as long as you ain't driving, as long as you don't start no shit. I don't give a fuck. You can drink till it's closing time. The hours go, and soon enough, it's closing time. I'm bleary with drunk. Barely get out to the car. Everyone filters out the same way. Marvin, bartender, tells me if I drive anywhere, he'll fucking find me. I promise him I'm just gonna sleep it off in the truck, ain't gonna drive nowhere. He don't know about me and promises. As soon as he's gone, fiddle with the keys in the ignition. He's so fucking easy to keep driving, like driven to a fucking lake. What else is there? Back to Sherry. That's so much road. Fuck my life, I say out loud into the still air of the truck. I half expect it to echo, but it don't. And then I see it on the other side of the bar. Payphone. I eye it for a long moment, thinking about what I'd just said, what I'd read on the bathroom stall. Do you mean it? Do I mean it? I honestly don't fucking know if I mean it. But here I go, getting out of the truck, fingering a couple quarters, center console, heading for the phone. Even though I'm drunk as fuck, I still remember. For a bad time, call 537-936-8481. Pick the phone up off its cradle. Funny word for that. Like it's some kind of fucking baby. I think about dialing. Tone is like the highway in my ear. Goes on forever.
Ooh, what a cliffhanger, TJ. I'll share the links to everyone's info here in the chat. That was super exciting. A lot of your writing reminds me of like cursed stories, like the disappearance of Tom Nero is very found footage, House of Leaves, and now this is very like The Ring. So yeah, everyone's clapping. Lots of people, we were joking how like if people ate cookies for every time you said the F word and stuff, like we'd all like have diabetes, or that would be like the shortest drinking game ever. But yeah, what a great story hour. Thank you both so much for coming and for sharing your stories. They both ended up kind of connected in a way with technology and kind of like the theme of loneliness and isolation as well. Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Oh no, somebody called for a bad time. TJ, no. It was TJ all along. No.
Don't
Sorry.
No.
leave us.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Now,
Thank
next week, our readers Gemma Files and a super secret guest who is shrouded in shadows. So you'll have to find out later who that is. If you want to find out about future readings or watch old reading recordings, you can check the schedule for reading announcement at storyhour2020.com, or you go to their Facebook page for the previous recordings. If you want to share these readings with anyone, be sure to point them that way. I know I thought both of these readings were just amazing. So definitely point your friends to the Facebook channel. You can rewatch these as many times as you want, as you resist trying to call that number, or you want that, that feeling. I always say that, what's that German right, Schneuding. You know what I mean.
Schadenfreude.
Thank
Schadenfreude?
you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Listen, I'm not here to pronounce words. I'm just here to guide the event.
Well, you're
But
doing a great
yes,
job. Great job.
Indeed.
Angel and TJ, thank you again for sharing your stories. It really was wonderful. Both of them just amazing readings. You both are talented, not just in your wordsmithing, but in your public reading as well. Thank you again.
Mhm.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
great.
having us and wonderful hosting. I love your pronunciations. I don't care what anyone says.
That's right. Me too.
And thank you to the SFWA for the Givers Fund grant that keeps Story Hour going. Thank you to my co-host Daniel Marcus for doing all the tech work. Always a hard job, sometimes underappreciated. So everyone clap for Daniel. Yay! And
Thank you,
thank you
Daniel.
everyone in the audience for joining us and spinning this fiction hour for everyone, for sharing in our love of stories, and for having your own fires in your house, perhaps throwing coffee creamer on them to get that nice sparkle.
And thank you, Plim, for hosting. Really lovely work.
Thank you. I'm going to share those links again. So make sure you follow the authors on their websites, and there's Amazon links for their stories, Angel's collection, Dark Was the Night, and TJ's novella, The Disappearance of Tom Nero. And again, thank you everyone for coming. This has been this week's Story Hour, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks, everyone, for coming out.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.